Titans, the Guardians of Metal. I'm here with Skeletonwitch at the Commodore Ballroom in Vancouver, BC. How's it going, guys?
Hello. We're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing good.
To be here. Oh yeah.
So you guys are on tour with them on Monomarth. You guys toured with them back in 2009.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And also in 2014, just earlier this year.
Right. When you guys did the Florida show in Orlando.
Oh yeah, it was like the
where you guys couldn't play.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
Disney decided that you guys were to.
We were deemed unfit.
Unfit,
but we were never told specifically why.
Yeah.
So when did you guys find out that news?
We found out.
It was before we actually left to go on the tours because we booked another show in Jacksonville that day.
Okay.
Yeah, we knew ahead of time, but we still don't know precisely why.
Yeah. So what would you guys end up doing that night then? You just hung out or
played a show in Jacksonville?
Played in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is it's never easy to book a show. Like you have to play far enough away from the Monomarth and Slave show that we can't play because of proximity.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are driving to that show, so
Yeah.
it's like you're competing with the tour you're supposed to be on. So it's an interesting night.
It was an interesting night, and that place in Jacksonville is an interesting place. But
what do you guys had? You had pretty good numbers that came out to see you guys.
Yeah, we actually still had people come out.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
So you guys had like some local bands.
Yeah, it was just us and and I think like 2 or 3 locals.
Yeah.
Nice. So being on tour, what is the hardest thing that you find as far as touring?
I mean, this is like the best job I've ever had, so I can't really complain about anything. I would say just the hardest thing is just, sometimes the fatigue catches up with you on longer tours like this one. It's like this is a 10-week tour, so I can guess by about week 8, we're all going to be getting pretty wore out. But, I mean, you just roll with the punches. Fortunately, we're doing a nice, short, sweet set on this, and so we're kind of just on autopilot at this point.
Nice. So for you guys, what makes a really good performance? Like when you guys are playing live?
We don't fuck up very much.
Don't fuck up.
That's number one.
Yeah, don't fuck up.
Good energy from the crowd.
Feel the good energy off the crowd, and I mean, the better the crowd is, the harder we go up there.
So who makes the sort of decisions on your set list, like what you guys play live?
I mean,
is that a group thing? Or?
We all chime in. It's usually a 50,000 email thread, but it usually starts with Chance, our singer, typing one up and then saying, "What do you guys think about this versus like? Here's a core. What do you think about this versus this? You guys want to add this one? We've never played this one." He sort of starts everything off. Then there's a million emails.
We whittle it down.
Yeah, that's right. We carve it into stone tablets.
Yeah.
Song by song.
And snail mail it.
It's
stone tablets.
It's expensive to FedEx that shit too. Or UPS, either way.
So the way the industry is working right now is that like a lot of bands have a hard time on the road, and how they sort of get by is is selling merch and getting tickets, because a lot of the labels are taking royalties and stuff. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's not so much. I mean, it's not so much that the labels are making a bunch of money.
And you guys are with a great label.
That's not so much the issue, is that the labels are hurting just as much as the bands.
Right.
But I mean, you're right about the merch. Merch is a huge thing. Like that's where most bands make most of their money, is ticket sales from people coming to shows.
Yeah.
So please come to shows and support. If you like a band, go to their show.
Yes.
And buy
their t-shirts,
because that's what's keeping them afloat. It's not iTunes usually. It's not record sales from record stores, real record stores. So it's that stuff. So
like, do you guys find
it is what it is, Like,
do you guys find that having a variety of merch is important? Like having like cozies and wristbands and guitar picks or blah blah blah.
It helps to have a lot of different stuff available and at different price levels, because again, that is what keeps gas in the tank and helps us pay our rent, so we can leave home, not be at the house we're paying rent for, and then come on the road.
So, in a word or even a sentence, how would you describe Skeletonwitch?
This is better fit, I think, for the man that's been there since day one. So I'll let him answer this one.
Man,
you got a sentence or one word that says Skeletonwitch is
no,
fucking badass?
I mean,
yeah, that's I mean, like our sound, us as human beings. Like,
I know. It's good. So there's so many different directions we can go with this question.
I mean, like, am I trying to describe our music or something, or like?
Well, and it's funny because your sound has kind of evolved. Like when you first started off, there was a bit more the black metal, and then
Skeletonwitch is probably like 5 dirtbags from the Midwest who synthesize their favorite parts of a lot of different genres of metal into like 2 to 3 minute songs with a lot of different riffs that are largely linear and not non-repeating, but hopefully still competent songs and memorable songs into albums that are like usually 25 to 32 minutes.
Did you get all that?
Fucking awesome. Great.
That was good, man.
I had too much to drink, I'm okay. I can still make sentences.
So Serpents
Form them.
Unleashed was released in 2013. You guys have been touring this year. Are you guys going to do a new album in 2015? Are you guys starting to write stuff?
We've started to write some. After this tour, we'll have most of the winter off, like November, December, January, February, maybe even March.
Yeah, maybe even March. We'll see. We'll see how things pan out.
A lot of writing after this. Then we're going to go do Roadburn and Inferno Fest in Holland and Norway and tour around that. And then we're going to do a headlining tour in Canada.
Which will bring us back here, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And some other markets in the US we haven't hit yet, headlining on this record. And then that'll be into the spring of 2015, and then nothing until new record.
Right.
So we don't really know when it'll be out though, but it depends how the writing goes.
Do you find like with this new album that you're going to try stuff like a little bit differently as far as like a sound, or are you guys going to kind of keep to the same?
You know, it's just, I mean, it just seems like a natural evolution and natural progression with how the songs are written, and I mean, you just never really know. It's just kind of natural how we evolve. There's really no way to describe it other than it's just kind of a natural evolution.
It's a little bit glacial. You don't realize it at first. You don't realize it at first, but if you listen to like there's a few songs on like Beyond the Permafrost or even At One with the Shadows, our self-release record. If you listen to certain songs on that, and then you listen to something like Unending Ever Living, or maybe what's the song in 6/8 on the new record though?
Oh, This Evil Embrace.
This Evil Embrace. You listen to something like that versus a song on the most of the songs on the first record, then you might really notice a difference. Like, wow, there's a decent amount that's changed here. Like whether it's just the tones on the album, chord progressions, whatever. But it's you can recognize a pretty big difference. But if you're just a lot of people who are fans of the band might just be like, oh, it's another Skeletonwitch record, and they might not suspect it quite so. It's so obvious. We don't sit there and go, oh, we have to force ourselves to do this.
Yeah.
So it's very slow, and then when you look at where we are now versus where we started, you can maybe hear the difference better that way.
Well, is there like one guy that drives the vision, or is it like a collective sort of?
Everybody gets the chance to throw in their 2 cents, but
cool.
I mean, but I have to give credit where it's due, and largely Nate, our other guitar player, has been the principal songwriter. Yeah. And like the last record, I was able to write a lot more and get more stuff on there and contribute more. So the ongoing joke was that Nate said was, if Serpents Unleashed does well, we did a good job, he and I, and if it tanked, it was my fault. He told me. But
demoted. So
regardless of whether Nate or myself write a skeleton of a song, no pun intended, everybody listens to it, gets to put in their 2 cents. Dynamics Dustin creates all of his own drum parts to it. We use the most Neanderthal drum machine beats.
Yeah, when I first get the songs, they're they're very stripped down with like a very generic drum machine beat underneath it all, and then I take that. I'm like, okay, I like this, I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I write my own stuff, and then I basically just have them send me the tracks without the drum machine, and then I play my own stuff over it.
Yeah. And like Chance, he'll write the lyrics after the music is there, but he'll help with the music too. Like we'll practice it, and he'll come up with ideas for dynamics, catches, accents, maybe repeating a part. And Evan writes some guitar riffs too. The beginning of More Cruel Than Weak, the last song on Serpents Unleashed, that when it kicks in, that kind of evil black metal-ish thrash thing, that was like Evan writing guitar parts, and he's our bass player.
Coffee.
Yeah.
So everybody gets a chance to like contribute, and usually like Nate and I will come up with the sort of foundation, and then we all build upon it.
It's very cool. Very cool. All right, guys. Well, we should wrap it up. I know you guys have stuff to do, so I appreciate the interview, and have a great tour.
Thank you.
All
right. And thank you, Vancouver, and even further than that, Canada. We love you guys, and we are so glad to be back, man.
Yes.
Awesome, guys. Thank you very much.